speak the gospel into a culture or into a person's life, the gospel always has two moves. There's the bad news and the good news. The bad news is you're trying to save yourself in some way, and you can't. And the good news is you can be saved through Christ and Christ alone. But it depends on what people think the meaning in life is. I mean, every culture is different. So you speak the gospel. Those two moves look differently depending on the culture. So, for example, the average person today, especially younger people, they do not say the meaning of life is to be a good person according to somebody else's definition. Now, what they say is the meaning of life is to be free to be myself. The meaning of life is to be free to be myself. Well, then what's the gospel look like there? Well, first of all, you say, okay, the meaning of life is to be free, right, but you're not. And why aren't you free? You don't feel free. You know you don't feel free. And that's where that wonderful quote by David Foster Wallace comes in. What David Foster Wallace says is everybody's got to live for something. You might live for money and things, and then you'll never feel you have enough. You might live for beauty and sexual allure, and you will always feel ugly. You might live for power, and you always feel weak and afraid, and you will always need more and more power. You might worship your intellect, being seen as smart, and you will always end up feeling stupid. Whatever you live for is like your God, and whatever that is will drive you into the ground. It always will. And it's more like a slave. Here's the bad news. You can't be. You'll never be good enough. But in Jesus Christ, you can be saved because you can be forgiven. And you can be good in Him.